Do tests, just speak
Yeah,
normal.
check 1, 2.
1, 2.
Drake May is my glorious king. We
Drake May.
will be coming back for the Super Bowl. We've made some good moves. AJ Brown is going to be a Patriot.
All right. Whoop, okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to, Everyday Lives. It's been a little bit. I'm here with Caleb Pucci, right?
What's up, y'all? Yep.
He's a double major at LBC. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. I am from Boston. Grew up all my years in Boston before I came here. My faith was, started pretty early. Grew up in the church. Sports has always been a huge part of my life. Grew up, hockey was my first sport, being from the Northeast side. I don't play it anymore, but
Hockey?
Yeah,
okay.
Hockey. But yeah, sports really took off. It was a way for me to kind of make community, also compete. And so whether it was baseball, football, hockey, soccer, I wrestled for a little bit. There was always something in me that wanted to compete. And so going all throughout high school, got pretty good at baseball and, got recruited to play here. And faith played a big part in that too. And so I guess that's just a little bit in a nutshell. But
okay, all right, yeah. That's cool. I played baseball for a couple years.
What
would up until U14? I
Okay.
think I stopped at U14.
Yeah.
Would you say, for all the people that played baseball out there?
Yeah.
I feel like there's in the kid pitch and you're younger. Did you played when you were younger, right?
Oh yeah.
Would you say there's some favoritism? I feel like with the coaches.
Ooh.
I feel like that happens the
Yeah.
most in baseball. I haven't seen that as much in other sports as I have in baseball.
There definitely is.
There has to be. It's so bad.
Especially with the coach's son. I played on 2 teams growing up when I was younger, where there was a coach's son, and then the team after that there were 2 twins who were both the sons of the coaches.
Oh.
And you always looked who was hitting 4 in the lineup and who was pitching. Mm-hmm. It was always the sons' coaches. And I'm sure, as the coaches, they, were able to coach them up a little bit more in their own time. And so maybe there was a skill gap, but not really.
I feel like,
Yeah, they're just kind of looking out for their own. And, I'm sure as a dad, I don't want to show.
Yeah, you want your son to be good at playing time.
Yeah, so,
here.
I can't blame him, but, I was always like, let me get on the mound. I'll dice some people up, let's see what happens.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I think my best game that I ever did, I pitched a couple games because the coach that we had at the time really liked me, and I feel like I was doing well.
Yeah.
I had a lot of confidence at the time, and I pitched in just 1 inning. I got so many you only get 3, but I feel like I was doing great.
Yeah,
for multiple innings. I was doing amazing.
You were dealing.
I was doing great, and then towards the end, I started failing, and then I was throwing down.
I pitched in high school. I never thought of pitching here because I pitched our senior game. I went to Boston Trinity Academy. Shout out the Lions, but pitched the senior game. Did all right the first inning, then the second inning walked 5 dudes in a row.
Oh, really?
Pitching coach came out. I was like, yo, just take the ball. I'm done here. I've not touched a mound since. I have not touched a mound since. Yeah.
All right. What do you think has been the most transformative thing in the last 10 years for your faith?
Ooh.
A transformative event in the last 10 years.
Yeah. I guess there's so many events.
You could say, okay, do a timeline.
Yeah. So growing up, around third grade, I started having seizures, and as a 3rd grader, that was kind of weird. I didn't really know how to deal with it. Kids at school were talking, and that's when I ended up having to stop playing hockey. The medicine that the doctors put me on, it made me super short of breath, and so I took a kind of a hiatus from sports for a little bit, and there was a little bit of me walking away from the Lord. God, you heal people in the Bible, I've heard all these stories, but you didn't heal me. And so that I feel like that's a big part of my life because I'm 10 years maybe more free from those. Thank God. God has definitely healed
Amen.
me.
That's really cool.
But like there was so much of me that like felt like there was trust lost in the Lord in that moment that I was like, if he's not going to do it, I can just figure it out myself. And I remember movies have a huge part of my life. I'm such a movie nerd, such a cinephile.
Do you have Letterboxd?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
I don't have my own, but maybe I have somebody else's.
Okay, all right.
I was so stoked when the trailers for Dune 3 and Spider-Man all came out on the same day. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Oh, it's going to be so peak. It's
It's so good.
But I remember like there was one night I was watching The Lion King, and there's this like scene at the end where like Mufasa's like in the clouds talking to Simba, telling him like, hey, like you need to come back to the Pride Lands, like take back from Scar.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, like I can't do that, like, you know, I could never be like you. And like in the clouds, his dad's like, yo, the thing I was most proud of was having you as my son. Mm-hmm. And the Lord just like hit me in that moment. And I hadn't like talked with the Lord in like, I don't know, maybe 3 years. And like just the Spirit of God just hit me in that moment. And so like that, I guess I kind of went all the way down, and then he met me in that moment, and that kind of brought me up. I'd say like another moment, I learned how to play guitar during COVID, which was dope.
That's a good skill. That's a good use of your time in COVID.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is something I want to learn. I got plenty of time to practice. I'm at home all the time, and so go back to school. You know, I play for church. I play for our school chapel, and then one day one of the guys who helps run our chapel was like, hey, I need an acoustic guitarist. Can you show up here? We're doing like a worship thing. I was like, dope. I show up to Gillette Stadium, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like these are the Patriots players that are walking in.
Wait.
And I had like no idea what was going on. And so I walk up to him. I was like, yo, what are we doing? He was like, yo, this is like a family chapel for the Patriots. Like the players and their families and their kids, they come once a month, and we play worship. They bring in a speaker, and then we get food with them. I was like,
bro, that's crazy.
I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like,
you're just casually just saying, just giving that news.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And there's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like Matthew Judon walking in. That's McCourty. That's Matthew Slater. I was like, what? But like, and that was so cool because like you see these guys playing on Sunday, but then like during worship, they're like on their knees, like with their wives, like worshiping. There was like something so humbling about it of like, yeah, these guys have like everything in the world that people want, but they still know what like the most important thing is.
Yeah.
So that's
amazing. Yeah, that's so cool though. That's so dope. That's awesome you had that experience.
Yeah, I loved it, and I continued to help out with that for like the two-ish years, my junior and senior year before I went off to college. And so yeah, really really cool experiences. Got to have like some really cool conversations about not just football, but about like their faith. With them and their families afterward. It was super dope.
That was really cool.
Yeah. I loved it. I would love to try and get involved like maybe post-college, like maybe
you
like,
already gotten in, you could get
exactly. You know, if they need a chaplain or something like that, I've kind of got some connections, so it'll be really cool.
How old are you? Okay, I'm going to guess like 20. I'm 21. You'd be like 23?
22.
22?
Yeah,
okay, all right.
22. I know, I'm
You're probably graduating.
I'm a junior, so I'll be graduating next spring.
Next spring,
yep.
Okay. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like going through LBC and the classes experience that you've gotten, do you feel ready? Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I do feel ready. Yeah. Like I feel like I've matured a lot and I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot here. With sports management, it's like such a specialized field.
It is, yeah.
And so when looking at like a lot of jobs, they either want like a master's degree right out of school, or they want like 2 or 3 years of like just kind of experience. And so I'm like, okay, I'm looking around for, you know, maybe I can be an assistant AD somewhere, maybe I can coach baseball somewhere. But like moving here from Boston, it was like, okay, I'm starting over. Like, of course I have family back there, but like you make new friends, you have a new life, you're living on your own. And I think the one part is like, that I'm not really ready for is like I've established like friends here, life here.
And then you have to move on from that.
I have to do it all again, man.
Yeah.
And so it's just, I don't know, it's like realizing that like God is like, he is a God of new beginnings, which is so cool, but he's also like a God of like, hey, like this season's now over. Like I'm getting you ready to move into something else.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we try so hard to like cling to something. We're like, oh, I love this. This is what I want right now. I have all my friends at LBC. I have my own dorm. I have my own shower, right? Like I can get coffee anytime I want to with my charger books.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm ready to be done with school and the classes. The classes have taught me so much, and I've been so lucky with my sport management group. We got to go to Paris and Barcelona last year.
That's
and
amazing,
got
bro.
like history credit, and we got to like tour like some like European soccer stadiums, and we went up to Normandy for a day and got to see like the D-Day beach. And so like experiences like that are like
Once in a lifetime experiences
once in a
right
lifetime.
there. Yeah.
I'm so glad. And so like that's been awesome, but like, you know, I've established a life here. You know, I'm the intramurals manager here. Like I'm gonna miss like showing up every Friday and, you know, establishing relationships to do that. So I guess it's a mixed bag, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely grateful for it.
I will say, once you get out there, I was never in college, but I went to One Life.
Yeah, I know One Life.
Okay. And then after One Life, it's really interesting. And it's a challenge in itself to keep a community, because you have to be like 10 times more intentional
Right.
to continue. Like you don't have the coffee, you don't have the friends that are
Right.
just readily available. I don't want to be like scaring you.
No,
but
no.
It's difficult. I'll say that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think it's been a challenge, but then I feel like I'm so much better at being intentional and creating those times to hang out and intentionally reach out to people, because if I don't, I'm just kind of,
Right.
I'm lost, you know?
You gotta like take
Yeah.
take initiative on
Exactly.
yourself, which I mean I guess that like is good for like when you're going into the corporate world too. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, these people aren't here to be my friends. Like if
Yeah.
if I want to make friends,
You have to reach out.
right,
to them.
exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people actually, I find a lot of people are like scared by that. They're like, oh, you know, that they're just here, like this is just work. Like I don't want to be friends with any people at work, but I think it is good to reach out to people that you work with, and that's how it's been. That's how society's been for years and years. That's just, you become friends. Like
Right.
you should interact with people, and then also as being a Christian, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ways to get conversations started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you look at like the business side of how the world is run to, it's never been through like just one person, right? Like people build connections, you build relationships, and you know you lean on that, right? And like you said, like it's faith. Like I feel like a lot of people think when they graduate college they just have to follow their calling.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that's to some extent sure, but like as Christians, right, our calling is to love people like Jesus would have, right?
Exactly,
Not like
yeah.
a specific job. Now, can you find a passion that allows you to like also go and establish that calling? Absolutely, and that's so cool. I would like love to see that happen in my own life. But that's something my dad has always talked about. Like, hey, like no matter where you end up, like your mission is to still love people like Jesus would have, and so.
In any capacity that you can,
Yeah.
anywhere you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it looks different each time, right? Like maybe I'm buying someone coffee, you know, and that's my way of loving people like Jesus. Maybe it's reaching out and having a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it's little moments, little yeses that we say to Jesus.
Yeah. Like I'll ask you this,
Yeah.
but I think my latest like challenge, I feel like, of reaching out or like using like just my outwardness and being an extrovert.
Yeah.
I think lately I was talking with a coworker that she just got hired, and I think having the conversation and just asking about her background and like, and I got to learn that she was a Christian, and it's very rare to find Christians in blue collar, especially where I'm at, that most of the guys and most of the people that I'm working with come from very rough backgrounds.
Yeah.
Or their childhood was brought up in Christian or in some type of religion, and then they fell away. And so they have a larger bias than someone who doesn't know at all.
Right.
And it's really interesting. Or like people who still like kind of believe, but then they're like, not really. Like one of the guys I work with is I would say pretty close to being Christian, but at the same time not, because he doesn't believe in God, but he believes in being a good person, and that's how you get to heaven.
Yeah.
And I was having a conversation with him, and I was saying, being a good person, like, you know, like that kind of goes through you.
Right.
Like you're the one. And he's like, no, because I still believe like God, you know, he's the one that gets you. But I was like, but if you believe in God, you can't also believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself is directly contradictory to the fact.
Right.
Yeah. But
yeah, I feel like in a lot of like blue collar kind of jobs and just like even like the lifestyle, like I feel like so much is based on like, oh, like I work to provide for my family, you know, like I'm the one like that's actually doing this, right?
Yeah.
And I think that we as Christians have a unique perspective because sure, you know, we could get through our day without you know talking to the Lord, right? Like we're humans, you know, that happens. But like we've experienced what it means to rely on the Lord, right? And how much that changes our lives.
Yeah.
And so I think that's always so like that's such a cool opportunity to talk to people about who like aren't necessarily believers or like almost there, like you're talking about. Because I feel like in those conversations I've always heard like, oh, like I feel like something's missing, like oh, like I feel like I'm kind of alone right now, like and there's just you just want to scream like, oh, there's a hole in your heart and I know exactly what's gonna fill it.
But yeah, it takes all of you to not say that, because I feel like somehow if you say that, then they're like, oh no. But it's the same thing that I was just like, is that they feel like, oh no, man, I'm not going to heaven. I'm
a good person.
Yeah. Or I'm not a good person. Yeah. Or the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. It's and sadly that's not what the Bible says. You know,
exactly.
The ones who are in relationships with Jesus and have come to Him and you know are born again, right? Those are the people that you know will be saved. And so it's also like how you know maybe it's an uncomfortable conversation, right? But it's also like, hey,
but it's worth it.
It's worth it. Like we're out here saving souls. Like I feel like that in and of itself is spiritual warfare, which is so cool. Like we're taking people back from the list that the devil has of people that are, you know, Amazon pre-ordered right down to the bottom. Yeah. And that's so cool.
Yeah. Well, like I think like as Christians we know like Jesus and God and our relationship, we know true love. We know true grace because it comes from Him.
Right.
We know how good it is.
Yeah.
And then trying to share that is amazing.
Yeah.
And the fact that other people can't get their mind around that, have a little sense of pride in that. They're like, it's weird to say that they have a sense of pride even when they're saying that they're not good enough.
Right.
It's weird because, they feel like, oh no, you know, I'm not good enough, so I have to be on my own.
Yeah.
Is that, no, I could never have somebody else. Like I can't give up my own self to rely on some like God or being that I don't even know if is real. So, yeah.
I know that that's pride too, but like there's part of me that's just like, what if you knew that like there was a God who loved you no matter what you've done, right? Like no matter how much you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm on my own. Like the God that we serve, like there's nothing that you can't recover from, right? Like I had a friend back home in Boston. He was a pastor's kid. Like you figure that like if anyone would have been able to like figure out their life, like surrounded by the church, dad's a pastor.
Yep.
But he just like he lost his way. I remember him talking to me and be like, Pooch, like, jeez, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on.
You're good.
I remember him talking and be like, holy crap.
Here, clear your throat.
Jeez.
That's all right.
Just got dry all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I remember him talking to me like, yo, like, you know, I've done stuff, like, and I know that Christ is there, and I know there's forgiveness, And I've been in the church my whole life, but there's still a part of my flesh that's like, you're not worthy of it. And so, like, even to see that in Christians, right? Like, I mean, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but he also comes to lie. And he is so good at lying in our ears about our self-worth. Because if he can get us to kind of think negatively about our stuff and in our own self-worth, then that automatically, because we are so focused on us, that takes the focus off of God.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't even have to come at us and be like, oh, God's not good, like he wouldn't ever love you. Like, if he can just get us distracted by thinking about us, then we're basically doing his job for him, right? And it's crazy to think about that he just operates like that. But we can almost be so selfish in a way that he just lets us do his work for him.
Yeah, like thinking about, because yourself is you're ultimately you're born with the sin nature, and then thinking like from your brain, and then getting all mixed up in that. Yeah. What do you think is the biggest lesson that you've learned just at LBC?
Ooh. Oh boy. First off, this isn't a lesson, but I've become way more introverted being at LBC.
What?
I was like a huge extrovert.
I mean, yeah, I can kind of. You're still extroverted.
Yeah, I've got like a balance now. But I remember freshman year, like I went to like every basketball, every volleyball game, wanted to try out all these clubs, was doing flips around the campus, like tried to be this big figure. And then like sophomore year came, and I was like, you know what, like, I just feel more chill. Like, I'm okay not going to the basketball game, just staying in and, watching The Dark Knight in my section. But I feel like God has been teaching me so much about his timing. And that was a lot of last year of, like, I went through a breakup, like, super early on in the year. I work at a summer camp, and I'd started dating this girl, and my first relationship, didn't really know what was healthy and what wasn't. And like that ended, and so like I didn't really know how to deal with that, and I was so much like, God, like, why, if this wasn't gonna work, why did you let it happen? There was a lot of questions that I was asking God, specifically about his timeline. And like I remember him being like, look, like, I have reasons for the season that you're in. And I remember journaling with him and being like, God, like, I feel like I've been in the fire for so long. Like, can't you just like take me out? Just take it away. Like, this pain that I'm feeling. And I remember him being like, well, if I did that, I'd rob you of what's growing inside of you right now. Like, it would rob you of the fruit that's trying to grow. From, under these thorns that are, really hurting. I remember hearing that, and like for the next, like, I don't know, like 2 weeks, like I wouldn't listen to anything but worship music or like sermons. Like I'd get back, I did not hop on my PlayStation. I was just writing the word, and it felt like I just clung so close to the Lord, because that was the only thing that I knew was going to help me in that season. And like that was tough. Like, I'm a huge country music fan. I wanted to listen to Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs. But like I was like, this isn't what's going to fill my soul right now. Like, I need something. And then like carrying over into this year, it's just been a season of, okay, God, now I'm in a season of feeling like I'm like kind of coasting. Like, it's not bad at all, but like things have just kind of felt easy with you, right? And so I think like the reliance on hearing the Lord's voice has been something that has been so important to me. Because when we start losing that voice that we hear, which is not just God, but also it's the Holy Spirit, right? The helper that's here. Whether that's wisdom or conviction about something, like when we stop listening for that, we inherently start listening to other things. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier, like we start listening to our own voice. We start, when we stop listening to God, we all of a sudden start to kind of seek God through other things around us. We like can sometimes even like, with like all of this sermon clips on Instagram and stuff, we start to have a second-hand relationship with the one who's right before us.
So good. I mean, Luke was talking about the same thing.
and like that's not what relationship is, right?
Be.
Like that.
It's you and God. It's
exactly.
not you, Bryce Hall.
Yeah, exactly.
God, you know what I'm saying?
And like, there's good stuff out there, right? Like
amazing stuff.
I love Philip Anthony Mitchell. Brings the word, lots of truth, right? But like if your only time with the Lord is listening to a sermon on YouTube, that's just you receiving. There's no dwelling.
Yeah.
Right? And so like last year, like there's a path that goes behind LBC, and it goes like to this like really nice community back there. And so I would just go out there and I would just like walk and talk with the Lord.
That's amazing, yeah.
And like even that, it was just like, I don't need anything else right now. And I think the biggest thing that the Lord is teaching me now is that like when you start to taste like the goodness of the Lord and like see what he's done in your life and like see what he is, like the world kind of starts to lose its taste a little bit. Like it starts to be like bland. And the Bible talks about that a little bit. David talks about that in Psalms. But like that has been so cool to like see that physically happen in my life. Be like the things of the world have like slowly started to lose their taste. And I've had some really good conversations with some guys on campus about like struggles with like lust and sexual health, right? And like
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, and like go ahead. Yeah,
I was saying like it's extremely prevalent.
You got it.
Prevalent that the more that you are in the Word, you're meditating.
Yeah.
It is that those things just lose their taste,
Yeah.
and the more your eyes slowly start opening, and then you realize this is disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely.
You lose your taste more and more, and you realize how bad the world is.
Yeah.
And the more that you're like, oh man, this is, I don't want to be a part of this. And figuring your way around that.
Yeah, it's a huge issue, especially like the enemy loves to like get Christian men, especially with like lust, because there's this thing of like, oh, I say I'm a Christian, I lift my hands in worship on Sundays, and then Monday comes and I fall to temptation, right? And like the enemy's just like, oh, like you're not good enough to be able to say you're a Christian, right? And
it's the same thing getting in your head again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've talked to guys where they've like talked about, and this happened with me. I definitely really struggled with lust in high school, and thank the Lord, I've been like set free for like the last 3 years, and the Lord has really used it as a ministry for me to talk to other guys about what they're struggling with. But like losing that conviction of the Holy Spirit in your head, oh, it's so dangerous. Because like that voice, like when stuff kind of starts early on, you hear like, you're like, oh, like I know this is wrong. Like, it feels good, but I know it's wrong. Like I don't really know what to do here. And then like the more it goes on, the less that you start to hear that voice of the Holy Spirit. And so that is what really kills us. But the good thing is that there's always grace. And like you said, like the Lord, one of the biggest things that I tell people is the Lord has a bigger purpose and destiny for your life. This is not what he has for you. This is not his best for you.
Exactly, yeah.
And do you want his best? Like when you feel tempted, it's like, okay, God, I can either choose what I want that'll maybe satisfy my flesh for 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
And then after that, I'm like, dang, why did I do that? Or you can be like, God, this is what you have for my life. Even if it's hard right now, I'm going to choose what is good and better for my life that you have planned for me, because I know that ultimately that is what's going to fulfill me, right?
Amen.
Because that's what we want.
Yes,
we want that fulfillment in him. And like, it's so beautiful when we get to choose that.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yo, like,
for someone like who's been captured for years of this sin, and to finally be set free, I think there's like no better feeling than that. To finally be set free and know that you're like,
it's like that scene from Nemo where the little baby turtle's talking to the baby turtle's like, you see what I did? And he's like, yeah, you totally rock, Squirt. It's like, that's how the Lord is like, he's like, yes. Now you're choosing what's good for your life. Now you're choosing the plan that I have for you. And he gets so excited about that, because when we sin, that creates a rift and a gap, right? And thankfully, Jesus was the one who was created to stand in the gap between judgment and humanity, right? But we live in a broken world, and so that creates the gap between us and Christ. And so when we choose to follow him, all of a sudden that gap starts to narrow a little bit, and then narrow a little bit, and then you're like, oh, I'm, like you said, I'm in the Word more. Yeah. Oh, now I'm hearing his voice more clearly. When we choose to choose Jesus instead of the world and our flesh, then like you said, your eyes become open, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is what I was missing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I love how God works.
And then I think I want to add there's small psychological, and not even things that are related to Christianity, but in your just day-to-day life that you can choose patience. Yeah. And that carries into whatever you do, is that choosing the long term instead of, maybe don't scroll on reels so much. Right. The dopamine and the fact that you're on your phone or texting all the time. How about next time you want to talk to a friend, call them instead of texting.
Read a book.
Read a book. There's a lot of ways that you can slow down your life intentionally, and those small changes can carry over into, if you're dealing with an addiction of some sort. Yeah. That really carries over very well.
Absolutely.
For a lot of guys that deal with that, especially my family and my family and the line of men that have passed it down have dealt with addiction. Yeah. And that carries down generation to generation. And I find my personality is very addictive, and the things that I do, I find if I do something well for the first time, then I'm like, I'm gonna do this. Right. Let's keep doing this now. Yeah. And then I feel like I can sometimes get too into it or too addicted. So I need to slow down and then realize, let's slow things, let's slow life down. And that reminded me when you were saying that you became slightly more introverted, or you slowed your life down, which is a part of maturing in a way. You're still extroverted and you're still talking to people, but there's a part of life where you realize, maybe I need to slow down a little bit. Maybe I need to put more time into meditation and to prayer. And it's not taking away from the connections and the stuff that you would have been doing before, but it's even better because the connections and the conversations that you now do have are more meaningful. You have more life and more of you to actually put into it.
Absolutely.
More of God in that. Yeah.
That's so true. Even for me with my ADHD, it's
ADHD, bro.
Big thing for me is impulsive purchases.
So bad.
And so it's this year I opened a checking account so that instead of just being I'm gonna grab this jersey, right? And it'd be okay,
a Drake May jersey for $80
I love
bucks.
my glorious King Drake May for $150, and it's okay, I have to move this stuff from my savings to my checking. Mm-hmm. That's me slowing it down, being okay, I have to move this. Is it really worth it for me to spend this money, right? And I think that it's the same. It's the same thing that we were talking about of living in the flesh. I feel a lot of in the New Testament it talks about how no one's going to be tempted beyond what they can bear, and also the Lord will always provide a way out. Mm-hmm. Even if we can't see it, I think of God throwing us a rope, and it's we can either choose to kind of be nope, I don't want the rope. I want to do my own thing, or we can be yes, please, let me out.
The first step is actually just grabbing the rope. Right. You don't have to have the strength to pull it up right away. You just need to grab it. You need to see it and grab it.
Because a lot of times, once we recognize that the rope is there, it's oh,
I have hope.
I have hope. This is why this is here, so that I eventually don't have to just swipe the rope away. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times, if we do swipe the rope away, and afterwards we're wait, there was a rope there.
Exactly. I could have gotten out. What was I doing?
I didn't have to do that. It was right there, right? And
but I think with my ADHD, I think if you have semi ADHD, you just think a lot, and you think about your past actions. At least I do. Yeah. And I find that a lot. Yeah. I'm just what was I doing?
Yeah, you're dang, I should have kept my mouth shut. I should have said that. But I think the Lord, ADHD is low key a superpower. If you know how to use it right. I get hyper focused. Or if if I have a Coke or an energy drink beside me, I got my headphones on, I can lock in for 3 hours, and no
distractions,
right?
Nothing.
But it sucks because as soon as someone comes in and trying to talk to you, it's gone, it's lost. Mm-hmm. And but that or ADHD, or ADHDers are like super great at working like creative jobs or like jobs that change every day. Like I read a study in my AP Psych class a couple years ago. There was like majority of first responders and ER workers, like there was like 75% of them have ADHD.
Really? Yeah.
Because it's like it's a different thing every day, right? And so it's like not
that's what ADHD brains like.
You're like
thrive on. That's like, what you need.
Yeah, I could never. I can never just sit behind an office desk.
Oh no.
Like I need to do something with my hands. Like I need to be outside. Like I need to do something. And so I think that's so cool. Like I think of like. I think Simon Peter had to have had ADHD, bro. He was so impulsive, but like that like worked into like his faith. Like, I don't know that any of the other disciples would have like seen Jesus out on the water and been like, yeah, I'm gonna go walk to him. I'm gonna go like that. Yeah, like the impulsiveness, like it works into his faith. There's something about like that recklessness of like I'm gonna chase after him no matter what. That like. I think ADHD is like tied a little bit into that. I don't know.
I think a lot of people can learn for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a lot of people can coast in life, and I think a little bit of Simon Peter.
Come on, get a little Simon Peter.
Get some energy in there. You know,
you get a little bit of spice, a little bit of salt in there.
Exactly. But okay, I have like kind of a segment that I do. I ask everybody this. Big news for the unemployed.
Yeah.
So what's like the funniest or like craziest story that's happened recently that's just like just for your life that would be like super out of context but like
wow.
This is embarrassing. I'll get started with it.
Yeah, give me some time to think. Let me hear what you're saying.
At work. So I had a pair of jeans and then that pair of jeans I had for a while since I weld. You know, they got sparks on them. The material started loosening up. And that pair ripped right down the seam, right down the middle. That wasn't noticeable, though. And, I kind of patched them up a little bit. I wore them a couple times, but, like, I was still, like, making sure I was just, I'm standing. So, and, I got a weld jacket on, so, like, no one saw anything. So then I buy another pair of jeans. That goes on for a couple months. And then after, like, only a month and a half of wearing these things, another rip.
Oh, nah.
The same
size.
place.
Oh, crazy. That's
but then
wild.
it goes like up here.
Dang.
Yeah, that was rough.
Brutal.
That was rough. And then, I just had to like wear my like weld jacket, and I was like,
yep, you just kind of cover it up.
I just had to walk out like that. I was like, ooh. I don't think anybody noticed, which was really good, but could have been bad.
I feel like I haven't done that many like reckless things here, which I guess is good. Like run a little bit. My like senior year of high school, I graduated, and like me and my buddies, we were just like biking around. Like we went to like some field to play sports. We're biking back. There's like a farm near our house, and so I remember one of my buddies being like, "Yo, like, what would we have to bet for you to go up there and pee on that electric fence?" And bro, I don't remember what I said, but I lost the bet. And I was like, shoot. I was like, all right, I'm a man of my word. I got to do it. Worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Oh,
wait.
It's brutal.
Peeing on the...
Because electricity travels up the current.
No.
Oh my, I was like limping around for like 2 days. It was brutal. I saw white. Like,
really?
Yeah, and like...
It was that bad?
It was that bad. And luckily, I don't think it was a super high voltage one. But so and like
that's gotta be.
I haven't had any I haven't had any kidney stones after or anything like that, so I don't think it affected me.
Do you think
like
that
long
could
term.
cure kidney stones though?
Maybe break stuff apart in there. Medical breakthrough by a couple
new
teenagers
treatment. Pee on electrical fence if you have kidney stones.
Oh, but that was brutal.
That is very brutal.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else.
Oh yeah, like I went to South Africa for one life, and I got like deathly sick there. And it was the one day that they had like a safari. They had a safari that day, and everybody left.
Yeah.
Like I was there alone the entire day.
Oh nah.
Until they came, because I don't know why, but none of the leaders stayed back, and there was no one at the camp that we were staying at either. So I was just there like throwing up. And I pooped my pants a couple times.
The other thing I'll say, I guess, is this is a little more in context, but I work at a summer camp called Summer's Best 2 Weeks.
Okay, here in Boston.
PA. It's out like by Somerset, Johnstown. It's about like 2 hours and 50 minutes from here. Beautiful in the middle of the mountains. It's a Christian sports camp. Okay. I love it. Been going. This is gonna be my 10th year at camp, and so I was a camper for 7 years. My 3rd year as a counselor.
That's really cool.
This summer we do like a rumble trip because we take kids out in the wilderness for a day. We camp out and then we bring them back to camp. And so I had kids that were probably like 10 and 11, all boys. Okay. Take them out into the wilderness. There's this big like rocky area, like big cliff, and there's rattlesnakes there. And so like when they train us counselors, I was like, hey, like kids can't fall off the cliffs, and like make sure you like check the area where you're sitting for rattlesnakes. Right. And we get to this cliff area where like it's like a snack time for the kids. So we hand them apples, we give them some trail mix. They're sitting and eating, and I hear this one kid behind me. He's like, "Oh, Pooch, look, it's a garter snake." No. And my brain is like, "No way, that's not." I was like, "Jesus, not today." And so I book it. I'm gonna show you a picture. He's staring.
It's not a garter snake.
It was not a garter snake. It was in fact 6 rattlesnakes.
Oh my gosh.
All bunched up on each other.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, thank you that like this kid vocalized it. He was probably like, when you look, he was like right behind this rock. So if he had stepped right down there, boom, just like that.
That's
and so
crazy.
So that was cool, but like I was like, okay, thank you. Like no one got bit.
The parents there.
So we were walking out like to the next part of this hike, and these 2 kids are like the last in line, and I'm taking up the rear. And there's this one rattlesnake that's kind of come off this rock, and it's right by we're exiting. I've made sure people go around it. And so I like, I'm like, yo, this could be an aura moment right here. And so I like look at it and I'm like, and it rattled right back. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And all the kids were like, Pooch, you just got it to rattle at you. Oh, it was so cool. I will never live down that moment for the rest of my life.
I feel like I would, in like Somerset, I'd be more scared of like brown recluse spiders because they're way more common.
Oh yeah. We get big like wolf spiders too.
Wolf spider, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I love that camp. They have a rafting trip too. I took like the older kids on rafting. Okay. And I remember there was this one female counselor who like a little softer spoken, and she was on a raft with a bunch of kids, and like they hit this rock and they're like really about to tip over. Yeah. I remember going down like behind them, and I like grabbed onto my raft and pulled her raft down.
That's crazy.
And the guy was like, yo, you're a stallion, bro. I was like, yo,
W Rip.
Yo, W. Oh, it was so cool. It's just like little moments like that.
Generational aura.
Yeah, generational pull right there. Aura farming.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so fun. My little brother was in my boat, and so I loved having that experience with him. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was so much fun.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
I think, I was a camp counselor for a couple years, and then my camp did like a counselor training program that I did for that was 3 months. Wait, no, not 3 months. That was 3 weeks. That was really fun. That was interesting. A lot of interesting memories there.
Yeah. When we have like different trainings, and then we have like orientation for all of the counselors, and then camp starts. And so as a 3rd year, I help with the trip leader training. Mm-hmm. And so we're teaching people how to pitch tents, and we just use like tarps and paracord, which is so cool. How to make fires, but also we teach wilderness and remote first aid. So if a kid gets hurt, like how to keep them alive enough for EMTs to have time, which is so cool to be able to do that. But then I also help train people on our high adventure courses. So high ropes, rock climbing, zip line, which is such a cool opportunity. To minister to people too, taking kids out into the wilderness, teaching them how to climb cliffs with rock climbing gear. It's so cool.
Yeah, very cool. And sometimes this just comes to these where it's not a planned conversation, so I can just edit.
Right.
When we want to think of something that we can talk about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I don't have that many crazy stories. You know what? I forgot about this story during the camp training. That the one night, it was on a weekend in between the weeks. They had these pedal bikes, and the entire camp is on this hill.
Yeah.
And so we have this really long stretch of a driveway, so you can get up, and then we have like the cabins and pavilions and everything up higher up. And he's like, my buddy's like, all right, bro, let's go down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And he goes down full speed, no brakes, and it's a pedal bike. So I think the pedals were fixed to the actual wheels, so it just starts. So he's like up here like this. And there's a barn at the bottom, so there's not that much room. Like maybe from here to like the end of that wall, to the barn. And these things tip super easy too. So he like completely, he's going super fast at the very end, tries to turn it, and just the littlest turn it, he flips, it flies off across. And no one's there that weekend either. So I had to like carry him up the hill.
Oh, nah.
And then get him all like bandaged up. Yeah, it was a crazy night.
Yeah, I love like summer camps.
I feel like, they're just transformative, I think. They're really good.
They've done so much for like my faith, like going back to this camp over and over again.
Especially in high school and middle school.
Oh, yeah.
Very.
And like as an athlete too, like the big thing that Summer's Best pushes is like we compete like to honor the Lord, and we like recognize too that like as a Christian, there are still in sports you still win or you lose.
Yeah.
And so how do we win humbly and lose graciously? And that's been like such a big part of my story in athletics. And I mean, even here, like I'm on the baseball team here. I'm not a starter, right? Like I've been on JV the last 2 years, but it's really been about like, hey, how am I going to honor the Lord through my play, right? Like how am I going to bring glory to like what He's doing, even if I'm not doing something glorious, like even if I'm going to go catch bullpens for 5 innings, right? Like I think so much of the time we think that like honoring God is like going out and doing things in the spotlight, be like, oh, I'm talking to people, I'm bringing glory to His name, like I have the spotlight on God. And like that's great, and there's definitely moments for that, but like I think serving is so important, right? Because you look at like the greatest leaders, including the greatest leader himself, Jesus, was a servant leader. Yeah. Right? Like he led by serving other people. He washed other people's feet. Like
you can't get any more,
Like they had no sanitation back then. Like it was dusty. There's probably like
guarantee those toes are all
right.
They're
nasty. Nasty. There's like all kinds of crap on the streets. Like,
and they're wearing sandals too.
Right. So, exactly. There's no protection. Nobody's wearing socks. But he still got down and he served. Right. And that's been a big thing in my life. Is like leading is way more about serving and doing things behind the scenes than it is being in the spotlight. Because anybody can be loud and be in the spotlight, right? And anybody can lead when things are going well, right? Yeah. But it takes a real Christ-centered leader. I'm not saying I'm the perfect one, because I'm by far not. I still have so much work. I'm in a couple leadership positions, and even being in those positions just remind me how much I can grow.
Yeah, but you can't do it alone.
Right, exactly. But like realizing that like so much of it is like serving behind the scenes, doing work that nobody sees, and like being willing to just talk with people, right? Like good leaders also build connection with people. They make people like feel seen and known, right? Like you look in one of Jesus' parables, he's like when he's talking about the shepherd and the sheep, like they know his voice, but like a shepherd also, he knows the condition of his flock, right? Like he knows, oh, this sheep is struggling with this. This sheep tends to wander and get lost really easily, right? Like this sheep, if I don't lead him to water, like he's not going to drink any water and he's going to die of dehydration, right? Like the Lord, in the same way that the Lord knows the condition of his flock, like as leaders, we are called to know the condition of what's going on around us, right? Yeah. And that's like something I've really dug into with Luke, of like even like at LBC, like kind of within like the spiritual health of the campus, be like, hey, like we want to talk to people to like get to know like what the flock of LBC like spiritually is doing, right? Like 'cause it's different for everybody, but we can kind of feel things kind of on and off on the campus, like like right now like the campus feels super dry, and so then I
think Beth Cockle's son needs a
come on
that's what I was trying to just to interrupt a little bit, but that's why like I could sense that. And then first of all is that LBC, and then looking at it that way, and that feeling like the spiritual needs of LBC in the community, that's amazing, because LBC, that's technically a church, because it's the people. This community in this college is the church. This is everybody's here going to school together, and that you should be looking out for each other and looking for the spiritual needs. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And then second of all, in the beginning of 2025, and then when I was going through like the classes, I was like, man, LBC just feels like such like an introverted homeschool type college.
You're preaching.
We need some activities, people.
Come on.
We need Beth Cockle's son. We need Beth Cockle.
Come on.
I proposed the idea of like, I was like, we should do a speed dating, and then they did that.
It was a big hit. There was a lot of people that showed up.
Okay, yeah. I heard some people went to that, and then there was a Nerf gun battle, or like, I was like, we should do like outdoor. We should do some golf, maybe some like, just like casual, like use the grass area,
right? The green
here.
space behind us.
Yeah. Do more than just the. I know y'all do, the summer kickoff. Yeah. That's a big hit. Everybody goes to that.
The block party.
The block party. But I think there just could be some more like activities on the weekend, because I was like, I'm going here, and then I was talking to Camden, and I feel like people just like sat in like groups and were talking in the student center and like their own little groups. I was like, we need some like.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know, dude. And then like
more events. I don't know.
Yeah, and as the intramurals manager, we try and figure out like also like what else is like going on like that we can like cater to. And so I think part of it is tough because like we have so many commuters and people that live nearby that like on the weekend sometimes it feels like 50% of our like student body's gone.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And so, but like we've like tried to branch out. Like we did a video game night last semester.
That was really cool. Yeah.
We did a pickleball tournament at Charger Hall in their like indoor pickleball court. So dope. Last year we did the Charger Games, which is like the Hunger Games for LBC, and that was a big. That was so fun. People kept asking us to do it again.
Yeah. Are you gonna do that this year then?
We tried to do it earlier in the fall, and it just didn't line up with people's schedules. And so we've talked about maybe doing it next fall and like advertising for it earlier, so that like people are able to get it on their calendars and work around it. But yeah, like I totally get what you're saying with like the atmosphere of it.
It's just super difficult because it's hard to get people to come out, especially and like try to really like universally get people to know about events and get excited for them. Yeah. Like, because so many people just like watch movies or do something with like a friend or they don't want to.
And I think that's part of the college experience too. Is like, oh, like I make friends. I'm just gonna stay in. But also part of the college experience is like going out and doing fun new things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
get a larger friend group. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Like when you graduate, like I can't tell you the next time you're gonna have the ability to go to a mosaics group and put some like mosaic tiles together. Or like there's a makers market where they have a bunch of local vendors there today. Like when are you gonna get to do that again? And like even spiritually too. I'm the president of a group on campus called MBL, Met by Love, and Luke's a part of that. So
I just saw that. Yeah, I followed the page.
And that's been like so cool because we felt like at LBC we like are so ingrained with just like studying the Bible in classes as a Bible college that like it has almost become like a textbook, right? Something that people are like, this is a chore. Like, I'm just gonna use ChatGPT instead. Like, and we've lost like that respect and like that reverence for the Lord. But like also like, even though we're a Bible college, like just going to chapel, that doesn't feed you.
Yeah, no.
And like if you base your relationship on the Lord and your time with him on chapel and church, if you only feed yourselves during those times, you're going to starve.
Yeah.
And I think that has been going on this campus for a couple of years. And I think the Lord is starting to do some really cool stuff in this past year and seeing that kind of transform and bring people back to him. I think the Holy Spirit's doing a lot of really cool things. Speaking to people's heart, me and Luke have like prayed over some people and like seen them healed like that. It was like we've got some crazy stories of like people on this campus like remember last semester we prayed over this girl's calf, and I had like asked her if I could put like my hand on her calf while we were praying. And I felt the muscle go and then drop right down. And I was like, whoa, that was so cool. I could feel it in my hand.
That is really cool.
And like even though there's a Bible college, like there is still darkness here. Like people, I think people will think like, oh, like because Jesus came, like, you know, like the devil doesn't have any real power, like especially like on a Bible college, and it's like no, like he doesn't have as much power as Jesus.
He might attack here more because it is.
I mean, the greatest players, they get the best defense, right? Like the biggest threats get the best defense. And so it wouldn't be like in a bad assumption to say like, look, the Lord is doing stuff on this campus that like you said, that is more cause for the devil to come in here and be like, I'm gonna disrupt this, right? And I feel like a lot of that here turns into like laziness and passiveness of like, you know, I'm at a Bible college, like surrounded by believers, like I'm okay, I'm all right. I've been in the church my whole life, like I'm okay. And
I chose a Christian college. I think, you know, I'm doing pretty good right now. You know, I go to chapel. Not only do I go to chapel, I go to, you know, in church as well. So that's more than the average person.
Bro, and that is so...
You're robbing yourself of so much more.
Yeah, it is so poisonous, right?
That
and mindset. The devil loves to come in and use that mindset. And it's like, when we have to have defense against that, right? Like, we have to know, like, if I don't get in my word daily, it's going to be harder for me to resist what's going on. It's going to be harder for me to not be passive. If I'm not worshiping at some point, whether that's like listening to worship in my head or like being like talking about like, God, I'm grateful for this. Thank you. Like Thanksgiving is a form of worship. Like if I don't do that, it opens the door for the devil to come in, right?
It does.
I wrestled for a little bit, but I love watching like MMA and like UFC.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I've got two friends who do jiu-jitsu. McGregor was my favorite fighter ever. But I remember like talking to some guys that fought, and they were like, look, like your best punch as a fighter is your jab, right? And he was like, dude, he was a believer. He was like, as a believer too, like you're not throwing all these big haymakers at the devil. Like that's you trying to do it in your own strength. But it's like, hey, like temptation, like boom, it's worship. It's just little jabs that eat, right? Because the little jabs then set up like, boom, now the Lord's gonna come behind me, right? That sets up the big old haymaker that, you know, that slumps somebody, that slumps the devil. I mean, we got to get comfortable slumping the devil, bro. Like the Lord gets so much pleasure out of seeing his children like stomp on the devil's head for a living. Like that is what we get to do. We are in direct opposition with the darkness, and I believe it's in John. It says the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. So we got to stop being timid and afraid and be like, no, like I'm a fighter. Like this is my inheritance from the Lord. This is what I do. Like this is what me and my King, we get to step out and do.
Yeah, like hear me out. Like actually get hyped when you do well in life. Hear me out.
Come on.
Get hyped and get excited. Tell your friends and family and your community when you are doing well in Christ, and maybe not just keeping quiet of, oh, you know, back to like lust, like I've been free for a week. Instead of keeping that to yourself, talk to a brother and be like, I was free for a week. That's a starting point. Like I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm starting that journey, or you know, I'm starting to get back into a rhythm of reading my Bible and I feel God's voice and direction in my life that I haven't felt for years.
Right.
I think more of a celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. Like celebrate that. Like if you haven't seen red flags before, even if it's harder to like get past those red flags, I see them now, right? Like I think, like I was talking about earlier, like being in my first relationship, there were red flags I didn't know to look out for. But like after that relationship, before I started dating the girl that I am now, it was like, oh, like this is something good to celebrate now. Now I know more of what I'm looking for. Now I know what red flags look like, right? Like
that was that learning that you had to go through that first like trial, and sometimes in the most challenging times, that's when you're going to grow the most.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're in a challenging time, maybe instead of change that like mindset of like this is really difficult to I can learn so much in this time period. and then in this time of my life, especially when you're in college,
right,
learn as much as you can, because it gets harder when you're not in a community, when you don't have as much time. You start working, you got to pay bills, you got to go out and get groceries, get gas.
Life gets real.
It gets real. It gets fast and then gets low at the same time.
Yeah.
Everything's happening, and then you start to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest thing that we can learn as like college-age students that are following the Lord is to ask the question, not, Lord, why are you allowing this to happen? God, why aren't you stopping this? It's learn to ask, God, what are you trying to teach me through this?
Amen.
God, how are you trying to grow me through this? Because that constantly just keeps your eyes on the right thing of like the Lord teaching you, the Lord growing you, right? Like, if kind of like to use the analogy I did earlier, if we're so focused on like the thorns and the bad ground that are around us while we're trying to grow, then we're just going to get caught up in those thorns, right? But if we're more focused on like, God, what are you trying to teach me? All of a sudden, he starts to bring us up through those thorns. And it's like, oh, this is where we were going. I gotcha. But if you had just been so focused on like, God, I'm just so focused on where I am right now. Like, I'm in pain. I just want you to take this away. Like, that's not how he works. And I think that to some extent, sometimes he'll let us go our own way. Like, I think at least
part of the free will.
Absolutely. I think if we walk up to a door and we like bash our head against the door like so many times, I think the Lord is like, hey, if you really want to do this, I'll let you go through, even though this isn't what I have for you. I'll be on the other side once you realize that this isn't the right plan, and I'll walk you through the door and I'll lead you to where you're supposed to be. But if you really want to walk this way, like, as your loving Father, I'm going to let this happen, not because I want to see you hurt, but because I want to see you grow. But also the Lord will allow that to happen, because then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the only thing I can go back to is God.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way I get back. And I think sometimes that really teaches us reliance through when we've relied on ourselves so much to try and get what we do, we kind of come to the end of our rope and we're like, yo, I can't be relied on for crap. Like, I need to rely on something else, and that something else is the Lord. And then he slowly starts to take us back through that door, closes the door, and there's like, okay, actually, this is what I have. Wouldn't have been awesome if you had just not gone through that door that you wanted? Sure. But I'm going to grow you through it. And so we have to be willing to grow and learn from mistakes. As Christians, we are not perfect. Nobody's going to be, right? But if we strive to be as much as we can like Christ every day, and to learn from the mistakes that we make and have the Lord teach us through those mistakes, that's the best place that we can be in.
That is. Yeah. All right. Well, I think I'm probably going to end the episode here.
Yeah.
You were talking about energy drinks.
Yeah.
I just recently learned Agape energy drink first. You know about it?
I know about it. I haven't tried them, but I see advertisements for them everywhere.
Right now, they're only on pre-release right now.
Okay.
I think it's $30 for like the starter pack. Like, you get 12 drinks, so I think it's like $2 per drink.
Yeah.
Shout out them.
Yeah, shout out Agape.
You guys should totally, when they come out, start buying them, support them.
Yo, Agape, send us like a case.
Yeah.
Like,
start sponsoring me.
Like, if we do a second episode, like, you send us a case, we'll do a little review. You know, talk a little bit about the Lord. We know you're a Christian-centered company, and so that maybe we'll tag you something like that. That would be.
This is Denton after the podcast. My stinking battery died. Caleb, thank you so much for the great conversation, and I'm super happy with all that we got to say. I hope we get to have more conversations. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. I know it's been a little bit, but more content on the way. I'm not giving up. I'm keeping on going. Anyway, yeah, have a great day. Listen to my stuff. Bye.